welcome along to the ProjectCars2 Virtual Racing League, where today we're commencing a brand new championship on the PS4 platform. It's the G40s, nearly forgot there, the G40 Junior cars we're using. There's the calendar up on the screen now, so round one's at Ruapuna A circuit, and looking forward to an absolutely great lineup of drivers here. We've got some returning drivers from the previous championship we did and some new ones as well in the mix, and it's Dan Holloway who's put it on pole position for qualifying for the first race there. Just slightest of margins, 0.08 of a second ahead of Monty Momo. Stuart Davis, our reigning champion on the PS4 from the last championship, is in third there, ahead of Welsh Taff and Delboy. Alex Brown and Pixie having a great battle for 6th and 7th there. And then Matt rounding up the order in 8th. Welcome along, Matt, to the championship. Let's hope it's a good one today. And as ever, if you want to follow along on this championship, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, where you can receive all the latest notifications. Anyway, we're on the grid now, waiting for the start lights to go out for a new championship here on the PS4 platform. And it's going, it's Stuart Davis now, who gets a good start away there, going down the inside. But it's Dan Holloway who sees the initiative from pole position to go first. Oh, and a big crash, and there's Welsh Taff involved. There's two red machines involved too. We're going to have to learn who's who here, because I have, quite frankly, no idea yet. And it's Dan Holloway leading the way from Stuart Davis, who's managed to get ahead of Delboy. Matt's up to 4th from 8th. Fantastic start for Matt there. Pixie as well, good start up to 5th there. Monty Momo and Alex, looks like they've gone back down the field. Could well have been involved in that chaos at the start. And Welsh Taff is all the way back to 8th. And we're looking at Matt now in the number 37 red striped machine, by the looks of it. Nice livery there, going down the start straight now. And it's Monty Momo. Is he in the pits? Yes, he is. So all the drivers have to take one mandatory pit stop in each of these races. So he's decided to go early on this one. And joining me as ever in the commentary box is Alex. Welcome along, Alex. And what do you make of the opening lap here?
Yeah, chaos into the first corner is kind of expected, with it being so soon out of the start. There's see Pixie there doing a couple of lines. Alex Brown looks like trying to attack Matt. Not quite got it, but that's a very early stop by Monty going. Pitting first lap. I must imagine he'll want to get some fast times in now and try and jump everyone when they make their pit stops. But you see Stu here really battling Dan. Might make a dive into the first corner, but he's a bit far back. Yeah, he doesn't quite think about it, but he's got to be careful of Delboy behind him. Oh, and that's a mistake by Dan, he's off.
He just speeded it off into the fields there, and he's going to have to ask a farmer for directions back home by the looks of it, because he's in the middle of, I don't know where he is off there, to be honest, with the sheep or something. Oh, and Matt there slightly colliding with, I think it's Alex Brown in the red car, by the looks of it there. But Matt just about holds him off. But yeah, Dan there completely threw the car away, didn't he? I think it just snapped on him halfway through. And Stuart Davis said, thank you very much, I'll take first then.
Yeah, be happy with that, but even though these cars only got the couple of horsepower, it's easy enough to throw them away. Stand shows. You see here Welsh Taff on board. Stu looking on the inside. He actually made contact, and that of course the red car there just spin out and hit Welsh Taff. So that's really unlucky for him.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Looking on board from Stuart's angle now, he takes some dirt a little bit. Oh yes, look, he's just. I think it might have been Monty, was it? Probably could have been Monty, that one. Yeah, I think it might have been.
Yeah, Monty.
The 50 car there. And then, yeah, look, he loses control. Bang! Into Welsh Taff. Into the white car as well. Which we will learn the names for, honest. In this championship. And now back with the live action. It's Welsh Taff riding on board with him. He's got up to 6th now. He's ahead of Dan and Monty. So I'm assuming Dan's made his pit stop in all of that. Somewhere. And he's got ahead of him. So he's 12 seconds off the lead. It's 12 seconds ahead of Monty though, so that's quite a significant margin. And this is quite a challenging little circuit as well to make back that time on, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's such a fast circuit. By the time you're at the pits, the leader's already on you. It looks like Alex and Matt are still battling away. Alex on the inside now forces Matt wide, very wide actually. It's Welsh Taff also hits the grass, and that's Alex through. Good attacking drive there from Alex, so he's up to 4th.
Yeah, Matt was under real pressure there from Alex Brown going through those corners, and he was doing a great job of defending, but then Alex just managed to sneak through as Matt ran a little bit wide, and he didn't need to give a second invitation to Alex, do you? And now Matt's under some more pressure now, and I can reveal it is Welsh Taff in that white car in the number 21 vehicle.
Yeah, he'll be looking to get past Matt now. Matt completed his first, as Alex goes wide, first very aggressive defence there. First championship last time. Welsh Taff looking down the inside, not quite got it. And this will be his first full season, I think, with the PS4 group. But he's looking good. He's in 5th, holding off Welsh Taff, so he's doing really well. It's, looks like Stu here is holding off Delboy.
Yeah, Delboy's coming really quickly at Stewart though, he's really keeping him honest, only 7/10 of a second separating them. Stewart now in the familiar orange and black car, and Delboy in that sort of baby blue colour, isn't it? Don't really want to call it baby blue, but it is. And he's hunting down Stuart Davis for the lead now, and as we've seen, some drivers making mistakes already, and that's Welsh Taff off again, just as I say that. And with the pressure being put on, and Alex Brown's under pressure too, he's making a mistake as well, so Stewart could quite easily make an error here as well. We've seen Stewart make a few errors, haven't we, over some of the races, throwing some race wins away. But I guess his recent form has been pretty strong, as he won pretty much all the races in the last championship we did. Absolutely dominated it.
Yeah, he did really well in the Nissan Challenge. I think there's only one race he didn't win. But you see Delboy made a little mistake. He's fallen to 2 seconds now behind Stu, so it's easy to make a mistake on this track, and we have raced here before in the Xbox group. If you've watched our old videos, that was in the Touring Car GT4 Championship, so that was really close racing. Do you see Alex Brown pitting in lap 6 now?
Yes, Alex Brown is in the pits. They don't have to take on tyres or fuel. It depends if they want to, they can, but they've certainly got enough fuel to finish these races, and they don't need to take on any tyres, because I don't think there's any tyre concerns in these things. Not enough power, to be honest, is there? About 100 horsepower in these Ginetta Juniors, but it's really about finding the lap time where you can, because they're not particularly hard cars to drive, but if you're pushing the limits, then they can get a little bit snappy, can't they? And you really have to push the limits to get any sort of advantage over your rivals in these things. So that's what promotes close racing as well, as Dan Holloway now comes into the pit. So he hadn't pitted before, he must have had some sort of incident that dropped him from the lead group, and he's back in 6th at the moment as Monty flies past on the straight and takes over 6th. So Dan's back to 7th. Where will he come out in relation to Alex Brown is the question. I think Alex might have him. Here's Alex coming down the straight now. Dan's about to exit the pits. Are they going to be side by side into turn 1? This could be very tasty indeed. No, it's not. Alex Brown just about nips in before him into turn 1, and runs a bit wide as well. Gets some nice dirt on his tyres, and away he goes. And Dan now is back into 8th.
Yeah, in the back, and there you can also see Stu's quite close, so he was almost lapped. I think the reason Dan's so far back was because of that spin. He really put him back down the order. So you see Delboy now in 2nd. He's falling back from Stu quite a bit, so Stu's quite comfortable ahead. You might start just backing off, even though it is only lap 9 around here.
Yes, interesting, isn't it? If you look at the times there, Monty Empty Momo is the only one who's getting near Stu's lap times at the moment. Stu goes over the line again now, 42.5. It was 42.5 the previous lap too, so he's consistent as well. And he's coming up to some lapped cars though soon, so it'll be interesting to see whether he pulls in the pits here. What is it pit stop wise around this track, Alex? Do you know? It's the time penalty of taking a stop?
I think it's only about 20-30 seconds, because it is such a short pit, and you can go quite fast into the pit entry, so it's not as bad as some other tracks they'll probably experience, but it's such a short lap that it can cause issues, as we see Delboy now probably going to try and do the undercut on Stu.
He was really attacking that pit lane entry, wasn't he? He wasn't leaving anything to chance there. Absolutely all on the line there, trying to get as maximum speed into the pits as possible without getting disqualified, of course, because that can happen. We've seen that happen before, especially in the oval races that we've run. But yes, you're right, Alex. Will he get the undercut on Stu? That would be the real big question here. We can see Pixie now is up into 2nd place. He had some cracking drives towards the end of the last championship we did, and it looks like his form is continuing over into the G40s so far, doesn't it? As Delboy exits the pits now in 6th place.
Yeah, it's quite a weird pit exit. It looks like they're going into a different track completely. We see Welsh Taff with Matt Wedge here. Matt going wide. Welsh Taff, brilliant move, just gets the cut back. Lovely. It was a really good racecraft there from Welsh Taff.
Yeah, you can see that Matt went a little bit deep into that corner, so he held back and then straightened the car up for a really nice exit. And like you say, really good bit of racecraft. And Matt now will be looking to do the same thing back to him the following lap, I'd imagine, because that's quite a good place for overtaking by the looks of it. Turn 1 can be as well. We've seen cars going side by side through there already, haven't we? And Dan Holloway now riding on the bumper. He's going down the inside of Alex Brown. Oh, doesn't quite make it, but he's put Alex Brown a little bit out of shape. Are we going to see another cut back here? No, he didn't quite line the car up quite right this time round. And Alex Brown still stays in front in 7th position in that red vehicle now. But coming up to the last corner, really long sweeping corner. Oh, and he goes on the inside. Dan Holloway, he's having a look. But not quite, is it? Yes, I think he has now, look. Alex Brown has gone wide. I think he distracted him enough. And he ran a little bit wide. And now Dan Holloway has got the inside line for turn 1. As Alex tries to fight back. They're wheel to wheel going over the start-finish line now. As we approach nearly halfway through this race. And Alex is going to try and brave it round the outside, is he? Oh, he runs a little bit wide though. And Dan just manages to keep the momentum through the inside. And he's taken that position away by the looks of it. But don't count out Alex fighting back at some point. Because you know what he's like. And Stuart Davis now is in the pit lane. Trundles his way along. Let's see where he comes out in relation to Del Boy, wasn't it? Oh, Monty, yeah. Monty and Del Boy.
Yeah, Monty.
There's Monty going down the straight now.
Yeah, Monty was on the first to hits, I believe. So it looks like he's got Stu and Del Boy's quite close behind. It's only, he's right behind him. Del Boy will have the momentum on him. So Stu's later pit stop really didn't help him.
It's surprising that actually in a way, but he had all the clear air. But the looks of it, the undercut was quite powerful here.
Yeah, just he got in early, got out of the traffic because it looked like Stu was definitely catching up to Alex and Dan who were in the background there, and it might have just affected him. Or he could have taken tyres on. It's you never know here because it is quite punishing on the right hand side tyres.
Yes, very good point, especially that long sweep in the last corner, isn't it, that you can see in the distance the car's going around now. And Welsh Taff coming through the technical infield section in the number 21 car. He is at the moment fighting Pixie. I think Pixie's in that yellow car just behind us, isn't he? And he's we haven't really seen much of him, but he's doing a really good job up there in second at the moment. Ooh. Just 1.2 seconds behind Welsh Taff. Oh, Stewart's out of shape, and this is going to give the chance, is it? Yes, it does. And Stewart nearly loses a car, and now Del Boy slots through up into 4th. Incredible. Stu there, just really under pressure from Del Boy. Probably wasn't expecting him to be so close after the pit stop. Maybe slightly cold tyres as well. And it makes a crucial error there. That's allowed one of his key rivals through. Incredible, Alex.
Yeah, just touched the grass on the inside. That's enough to unsettle the car. Is there a replay of that? No, it's Dan Holloway and Alex Brown's battle. See Dan on the inside of Alex there. Alex would have to keep a lot more speed, which he does, but that just puts him wide, and Dan keeps it neat and tidily on the inside, gets the position.
Yeah, then we're going to have a look at Stewart's incident. Let's see what happened. He gets on that curb, that really unsettles the car. Look, nearly drags him off onto the grass there. And he really has to sort the car out. And Del Boy just keeps it nice and smooth. And I think Stu tried to close the door, didn't he? But he was a little bit late there. And just before he managed to slam the door shut, Del Boy sneaks through on the inside. Great bit of racing. And this releases Del Boy now after Monty. Halfway through this race, has he got any chance of catching Monty, do we reckon?
It's only halfway, so there still could be mistakes and whatnot, and he's still, like there, he's on the grass, almost on the other side, so that's going to slow him down. But he's still got to catch Pixie, who I don't think has pitted yet, or Welsh Taff.
Tell you one thing, I would not like to be a suspension piece going over those curbs on this circuit. It looks absolutely treacherous. It's not a circuit where you can ride the curbs by the looks of it, is it?
There's only 1 or 2 spots you can really attack the curb. That's the second corner, which is only like a little kink, and onto the curb on the outside there, which we see Pixie go past. The rest of it's quite nasty curbs that will hook your wheels and you go around, as Stu almost experienced. So yeah, it's not great to hit the curbs around here.
And how much do the drivers practice, before the race, obviously, in the practicing that they do for these events? Just attacking the curb, seeing if it unsettles the car. Will they be looking at those sort of things?
They should be, but I think a lot of the time it's just learning the car and learning its strengths and weaknesses, especially as you can see here Stu now attacking Delboy, but in practice he'll be seeing where he can go fast into the corners, where he can brake, and where he can actually attack. As you can see, he's a bit fast there, but he does have slipstream. Surprised he didn't attack corner more there, but that's fair enough. He probably's a bit nervous as he almost spun it last time, but you can see Stu's definitely got the pace on Delboy.
Yeah, he has, isn't he? Delboy is doing a great job though up there, and just snuck through, and Stewart's trying his best to distract him down the inside. He's going for it. Look, he's zooming right down the inside there, and I think Delboy's now going to try the cut back. Look, yes he is, and he's got a great exit, and now it's wheel to wheel. Great bit of side by side racing this, but Stewart's got enough momentum by the looks of it, running around the outside there, and just managed to just pull ahead again of Delboy. And yeah, great overtaking manoeuvre there from Stewart, and great bit of racecraft from both of them, but Stu runs a bit wide now. This might give Delboy a chance to fight back as we go through the technical twisty little section where Stewart's been a bit cautious, like you said, Alex, but this time Stewart gets it all nice and tidy and a good exit, and it looks like now he's got that position away, and into 4th position he goes. And Pixie, we're looking at now, is fending off Monty. Oh, Pixie goes into the pit lane.
Yeah, probably doesn't want to lose time battling, so he's just going to pit now while he can, and just see where he comes out. That's quite smart by Pixie there.
Yeah, he's definitely, he knows his racing, Pixie does. He's a long-time McLaren fan as well, so no doubt he'll be happy to see McLaren return into form in Formula 1. But he's got a lot of racing experience in terms of online racing and also watching racing. He's done a little bit of karting as well, so he knows his lines, he knows his racecraft quite well. And he's exiting the pit lane now, and he's coming out in 7th position, and he's behind one of his key rivals there, Alex Brown, who he was fighting hard with in the last championship. And you can see his rival just up ahead there, so it could be game on now for Pixie to see if he can catch Alex, but Alex himself is trying to catch Dan, isn't he? So that trio there could be a battle to watch developing there.
Yeah, and they both got to keep in mind that this man in first, Welsh Taffers, I don't think he's pit yet, so it'd be interesting to see where he comes out. If he comes out in front of Pixie, that'd be ideal, but he still has to be careful not to make any more mistakes. He's smart enough, he might pit now, but he might want to try and extend his lead. Yeah,
I think, what would you do in this situation? Have you got clean air? Is he coming up to lap cars? Possibly that could affect his decision, couldn't it?
Yeah, it looks like
What would you do, Alex?
I would have pitted, but he stayed out, and it looks like he's catching Matt up, so as long as Matt doesn't hold him up, it could be a good decision. But he's losing time to Monty, who's now under 3 seconds to him, so probably would have been best to pit. As you see Stu getting a bit squirrely out of that corner, but still holding position. It's it looks quite a simple track, but it is quite tricky, as we saw in the touring car GT4s, and now again with these G40 Juniors.
Yeah, there's lots of little tricks, isn't there, in this circuit? Like that one, for example, there, you're coming around the left-hander, but you can't run too wide because you've got a right-hander right after it, which you need to line the car up for. And we've seen drivers become a cropper in those corners already this race, and Stu nearly becomes a cropper exiting that corner just back there because he got way on the grass. And although it looks like Stu had the pace to pull away from Delboy when he passed him, Delboy's really sticking with him and really giving Stuart something to think about, isn't he? And Stu's not been able to just get down to the business of trying to catch Monty in the same way he would have liked, even though he's got some good pace. Monty's putting some great laps in as well at the moment.
Yeah, he's really doing some good laps. But Stuart's fastest in that last lap for 43.1, so he's definitely on it, but it's whether he makes mistakes or not. As see Matt now getting out of the way of the Welsh Taff, which is good for him. Yeah, he hits now, so he thinks he might have lost a bit of time there with Matt, so he thinks, I better get in the pits as soon as possible.
Sensible from Welsh Taff. Let's see now, he goes into the pit lane, and he'll be stopping to make his mandatory stop and out again. And it's the 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 point system that we've got on the go in this championship. So 10 points for first and 1 point for finishing 8th. So they will all score a point because there are 8 drivers today. So that's one thing at least. And but yeah, how many is Welsh Taff going to score? That is the big question for him. And he's going to exit the pit lane. Oh, just ahead of Alex Brown. That was close, wasn't it? And Alex Brown will be thinking, oh no, look what's happened there. I'm going to have to repass this white car somewhere. How am I going to do this? But he's going to get down to the business of doing it, because Welsh Taff will be a little bit cold exiting the pits there. Alex Brown is at race speed, and this is his best chance to try and make a move, isn't it? Just straight away here.
Yeah, that was brilliant move by Welsh Taff pitting there. He's got ahead of Alex, which is what you would have wanted, but like I said, Alex would still be at race temperatures, while Welsh Taff will be a bit colder, but Alex may have a bit more wear on his tyres than Welsh Taff at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, and we're up to monitor that. We've only got a handful of laps left to go here. Around 43 to 45 seconds are the lap times. So yeah, another few laps left. And Del Boy now has fallen back again from Stewart, so he hasn't quite been able to live with Stewart's pace in the latter stages of this race by the looks of it. But Stewart himself isn't really catching Monty, so by the looks of it, the top three positions are kind of sorted. We got Dan, we got Dan in fourth, just ahead of Welsh Taff, who we saw just come out ahead of Alex Brown there. So this could be the one to watch now. Can Welsh Taff catch Dan, or can Alex catch Welsh Taff? Where's your money at, Alex?
I'd say Alex and Welsh Taff, but they're so similar on lap times. It's going to be hard to say. They seem to be trading each lap. Up ahead, they seem to be doing the same as lap before. Stu did a 42 and Monty did a 44, but they've swapped times now. Let's see what they do on this lap. It's a 43 by Monty. What's Stu doing? He's only 6 seconds behind. 44 it looks like. So yeah, Monty's definitely got the pace at the moment. Oh, sorry, 43.
Stu just popped in at 43, yeah, incredible. So Stu has got the pace, but whether he can catch him in time before the laps run out is another question, isn't it? And riding on the bumper now, on the floor level, you can see the speed sensation rising on board with Alex Brown now. Alex, goes a little bit wide there, but looks good. Or maybe that's just his racing line round that corner. But he seems to have got quite a good exit there, because he's sort of catching Welsh Taff, especially through this section, although it does look like he gets closer as the car's concertina up a little bit. And let's see how he attacks this. Welsh Taff goes right over the curb, spit of flame from the exhaust there. Alex Brown lining up the corner nicely, hunting him down, making himself a nuisance as much as possible to Welsh Taff, really giving him something to think about, piling on that pressure. And it is easier to be the hunter than the hunted in the closing stages of a race like this, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely, and it really shows how much pace Alex has got. He's really improved through these championships, and even on the GT3 Xbox one, which is currently going on that console, Alex has really shown his pace in the McLaren. But yeah, he's really putting pressure on Welsh Taff now for that 5th place. And talking of pressure, is that someone close to him? No, I think that's Stu passing Matt, lapping him, I should say. So Matt's on his own up there, but I'm pretty sure he's enjoying every moment of it. And Del Boy's definitely falling back now. He's about 6 seconds off Stu.
Yeah, he really has fallen back now, so Stu is just trying to come home and collect the points, as are the top three. Matt's there, he's just passed. We'll be looking at Stuart's car and trying to work out exactly where he's going to be losing time. It's a long championship this, so anything that Matt can learn here, pace-wise, and how to handle that car will be very beneficial as the championship wears on. And he could find himself in the top positions before long. And both these cars running wide here. Look, Alex Brown Alex Brown running very wide. He's doing a bit of farming by the looks of it. And that's not going to do him much good in terms of lap time, because he's fallen back a little bit now from Welsh Taff. I was about to say he's catching him, but he's ruined it now. He's lost all that time he made up and worked hard for. And I don't know if he's going to get it back now in these closing stages. Pick Z is in 7th. He hasn't quite got the pace of Alex Brown in this race, on this circuit. But you never know what can happen in the future races. And it'll be really interesting to see how it progresses, this midfield, because we've seen them both be so close during the championships we've run so far on this platform. So it'll be really good to see actually how close they are. Yes. I can't pick any one of those midfields. I can't pick any of them. Yeah,
it's going to be a pretty close championship, you can imagine, especially as the championship goes. There's going to be a lot more drivers that suit different tracks better, and also they'll be learning the cars a lot more, so they'll know where they can push, know where they can't, where they're struggling with the cars. So it's going to be quite interesting. So say around here it looks like Monty's got the edge over Stu, who, even though he is putting faster times at the moment, the pit stop he did really cost him. So he'll probably take that into account into the next race if it's similar circumstances. So the drivers will always be learning, as we see Stu now entering the last corner in the background while we're on board with Monty.
Absolutely, and there were 4 different winners in the Xbox G40 Championship that we ran. But today it looks like there will just be one winner, and that's going to be Monty, as we see the extremely fast cameraman running alongside that brilliant red vehicle. Or is it orange? I think it's probably, what would you say, red or orange?
I'd say a light red, but the black might make it look a bit more orangey. But yeah, it's a nice colour scheme, that.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and I think the fast cameraman would agree too. And I think we're going to see Monty Msumomo become the inaugural winner of this championship, or for the inaugural round anyway. And he's going to win the first round here, exiting the last corner. Now he's kept it nice and clean, and an absolutely fantastic win here for Monty Msumomo to pick up the full 10 points on offer. And that will be coming very useful in this championship. It's going to prove to be so close, I reckon. Judging by all the lap times and judging by the Xbox Championship we ran. Only one of those drivers here today was in that Xbox Championship, and here he is, Stuart Davis, coming across the line in second, collecting 8 points. Delboy storming into turn 1, didn't quite have the pace to lift with Stuart in the end, but still podium position, very good job indeed. Dan Holloway in 4th, Welsh Taff comes across the line in 5th, Alex Brown chasing him all the way but didn't quite get him in the end in 6th. And then we look to Pixie in the yellow machine coming across the line in 7th ahead of Matt. And yeah, it's a pretty tense race that actually, Alex, and the lap times prove it too, all quite close there.
Yeah, really close lap times. It really shows how the fuel was being burnt off towards the end, as they were all starting to get into the low 43s, low 42s, as you see there with the front 3 who were really putting some great lap times in. But yeah, congratulations to Monty. He'll be well chuffed with that win.
And unless I'm mistaken, he won the last round of the last championship, so that's 2 wins on the bounce for Monty.
Yeah, I think he won the Nissan GT3 race, so yeah, he's back-to-back at the moment, so he's the man with the momentum.
Yeah, and he seems to like these GT cars as well. So championship standings, of course, reflects the order here today at Ruapuna Park, and join us next time, where it's going to prove to be extremely close once again, and we'll see if Monty can keep the momentum or whether some of the other drivers can fight back and take the challenge to him. So yeah, can't wait for that one, and see you there.